Hi, this is Brian, and welcome to my room. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. A lot of times my videos go over toys and collectibles and things, but another important thing to me is music, and I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. And so I started putting playlists together and putting them on Spotify once a month. And this will be now the 5th one. I started them in May. And I want to just give you a description of what the tracks are and kind of why I picked them. Now, for me, mixtapes were always something that I did when I was younger. I would make cassettes and would trade them with friends and give them to people. And that's not really something that happens anymore. I really don't know anybody anymore that likes the same kind of music I do. But I hear all kinds of things, and I listen to stuff all the time. So I thought it would be fun to put these playlists together, and hopefully somebody's listening to them and enjoying them. And so this one will be the September playlist, and I'm just going to go through the songs and kind of give a little bit of info about them or why I picked them and kind of maybe why they're in the order that they're in. So the first song, it's not really a song, it's an intro called Blue Moon by Daniel Ash, and it's from his first solo album. Now, Daniel Ash was a founding member of Bauhaus, Tones on Tail, and Love and Rockets, and he's a very talented guitarist and very influential to a lot of people. And his first album was called Coming Down, and so the first song was Blue Moon, and this is a very soft, quiet piece. The volume is low, so when you are listening to it, be prepared. The next song is going to be louder, but it leads right into the next song, Coming Down Fast. And we had the Blue Moon last month, people may have seen. So that kind of put it in my head that I wanted to put Blue Moon, and then Coming Down Fast leads right into it. So those are the first two. And again, watch the volume when it transitions from Blue Moon to Coming Down Fast, because there's a big change. The next song is by a band called Duster, and the song is called Travelogue. I know Duster is from San Jose, California, and this song came off of their Contemporary Movement album, which was from 2000. And this is one of the things that I was listening to. I just put a lot. I've heard about Duster. I saw a documentary on them and went back and just listened to everything. And so the song I picked was Travelogue. The next one is a band called Nights in Stereo, and the song is Open Door. It's a single released in 2022. There were no other releases for the band that I could find, but they are from Los Angeles, and this was something I think I heard on Sirius Radio Octane. The next one is a 1995 hit for Dishwalla, song called Counting Blue Cars. And this was something I heard in the car on Sirius Pop Rocks. And it was just a fun song, and I always kind of liked it and haven't heard it in a long time. So it's on there. Dishwalla is from Santa Barbara, California. The next song goes back to the 60s. This was released in 1966. It's a song by the Easy Beats called Sorry, and they are from Sydney, Australia. This was on their Volume 3 album from 1966. The Easy Beats you may know from their biggest song, Friday on My Mind, which came out in 1967. But Sorry is a pretty fun song. It's fast, and it's just got a great beat to it, and I've liked it for a long time. I heard it on the Nuggets British Invasion CD for the first time, and just great song. The next song is Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, and this, we were at Disney's Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and this was one of the songs that they were playing, and I haven't heard it in a really long time, and it was fun too. And it does have backing vocals by Michael Jackson, and if you don't know anything about Rockwell, he's from Detroit, Michigan. He's the son of Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records, and he's like the uncle and stepbrother or something of the guys in the LMFAO group, you know, Sexy and I Know It. So Somebody Watching Me was a fun song. It came out in 1984. The next one was the Atomic Fireballs. This was another one that we heard at the Not So Scary Halloween Party. And it's a song that they're known for, The Man with the Hex. And they are also from Detroit. And this came off their 1999 album, Torch This Place. Next will be Lunatic Fringe by Red Rider. Red Rider was from Toronto, Ontario, and this came off their 1981 album As Far As Siam. I've heard this song. It was, you know, always around and to me, but kind of listening to the lyrics, it just made me think of some things that are going on currently in the United States, and it just seemed appropriate. Next is Atrocity Exhibition by Joy Division. This came off of their second album from 1980 called Closer. And Joy Division, if you don't know, is from Manchester and has been they have been one of my favorite bands since I was a teenager. The first I heard Joy Division, I bought their Unknown Pleasures album on a cassette, and it was in a special packaging it was like a purple box with an inset area for the cassette and lyrics. And over the years, I've had that album in cassette, CD. I have a vinyl record, a new release of it, and of course digital. And it's just, Joy Division is just an amazing band. And I recently posted in my community section the Control movie, which was Ian Curtis's wife's story, basically, of her relationship with Ian and how kind of the band started. And if you get a chance to watch it, it's really good and shows where he was at and kind of maybe what led up to him committing suicide in 1980, the night before they were supposed to leave on their first big American tour. So really, Joy Division is fantastic, and I really recommend going in and listening to them, reading the lyrics, which are excellent, and just really take it in. There's only 2 main albums and then a few albums of odds and ends and different things. And then, of course, Joy Division, after Ian Curtis committed suicide, the remaining members formed New Order. So it's ongoing. And I saw Peter Hook of New Order. He goes around touring and does basically the whole album. He'll do one show, he'll do the whole album of Unknown Pleasures. The next show, he'll do the whole album of A New Order. The next show, he'll do the whole album of the Closer album. So it was a great show, and his vocals and stuff are good, but he's not Ian, but it's still a good show. On to the next one is the Effigies from Chicago and their song Security. And this was on the 1982 album Remains Non-Viewable. And the Effigies were an early hardcore band, but this song has more of a post-punk, kind of almost a dance beat. And I placed it here because it really felt like it flowed well from Atrocity Exhibition. The leading bass, the heavy drums, and just the overall, it's a faster song than the previous one, but they seem to flow well together. The next is some I've heard recently was Styx, Mr. Roboto. Styx was from Chicago also, and this came from their 1983 album, Kilroy Was Here. I remember this song when it came out. I liked it. It was cheesy, and it may be a little offensive to people now, just because of, you know, stereotyping and things, but it's kind of a fun song, and it's a little cheesy, and I heard it, I think it may have even been at the Not So Scary Party too. So it was fun. Next is a Men at Work song from their first album, Business as Usual, in 1981. This is kind of a deep cut for them, called Helpless Automaton. And Men at Work were from Victoria, Australia, and you know, you might know them from Who Can It Be Now and, you know, Down Under and things, but this song it's a weird little song, but it always caught my attention from, I think, when I bought this album on cassette in the early 80s, and it just kind of jumped out at me, and it seemed to fit after Mr. Roboto. Next is another 80s song from 1983 by A Flock of Seagulls. This one is Wishing I Had a Photograph of You from their Listen album, which I think was their second album. A Flock of Seagulls is obviously known for, you know, Iran and Space Age Love Song, but this song was so catchy when I heard it. It's just one of those ones that gets stuck in my head and I can't get it out. So I really wanted to include it, and it's a fun song. Then we have Let's Rock by Smash Mouth, and with their singer Steve Harwell recently passing away, I went back and I always liked their first album from 1997, Fushu Mang. This is the one that had Walking on the Sun, and this was the first time, that song was the first time I heard Smash Mouth, and I went and bought the album, and it's one of those 90s bands that their hit song was completely different than everything else on their album. But the rest of the album was a punk ska, and I liked it a lot. And with Steve's passing, Let's Rock seemed like a little bit of a fitting kind of reminder, memorial of him. So I hope you enjoy it. Next is Gangrene's Alcohol. Gangrene was from Boston, and this is their 1986 album, Another Wasted Night. Gangrene is hardcore, classic 80s hardcore with some metal thrown in, and it's just a great, fun song. Next will be Nightmare from Ashes to New. And From Ashes to New was from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is from central Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from originally. This group came out much later. I had already been in Florida for a long time, but this is from their Blackout album that came out this year in 2023. And this was something else I heard on Sirius Radio Octane. And then there was another one from Octane, Kingdom Collapse, Never Be Like You. This was a 2023 single also. And I see all the band is from San Antonio, Texas. So something like this coming from Texas is very interesting. That's followed by a song by Aleka's Attic called 2x4. Aleka's Attic was from Gainesville, Florida, and they really didn't have a lot of material that was released. This song came from an archival release that covered basically a chunk of their career called Alone You Elope. This came out in 2020. But the interesting thing about Alika's Attic was this was the band that River Phoenix, you know, the actor from Stand By Me, My Own Private Idaho, he died in 1993, and his sister Rain Phoenix were in this band. And this was kind of an outlet for Rain to express himself musically. And it never really went anywhere, and they never really, of course, they never had any success or toured or anything, but it was just a cool song, and I came across it, I think on a documentary they were talking about specifically Alika's Attic, and so it's a fun, cool song. Next will be another one from Sirius. I don't remember, it may have been the Sirius XMU, but it's Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins Not Tragedies, from their 2005 A Fever You Can't Sweat Out album. And I know the band is from Las Vegas, and it's just a cool, interesting song, and so it was good to put on, good to listen to. Going back to the 80s, early 80s, for a Duran Duran song. This is the night version of their early song Planet Earth. It came out in 1981, and Duran Duran did several versions of their early songs that they were called night versions, and it's a different recording than what you would normally hear on the album or the singles, and I've always liked this Planet Earth night version a little bit more. It's a little bit more rock, I think. It's got stronger drums and the guitar. It's not quite as space age sounding as what the album version was, but it's a cool one, and it came out, the night versions were released as a limited edition tour album for the Australian tour in 1981. So, and then they included them on the 12-inch singles. Then we have Four Horsemen by The Clash. This was the 1979 London Calling. This album was and has been one of my favorites since I first started listening to music in my early teens. This was another one. I bought it on cassette, wore it out, bought another cassette, wore it out, went without it for a while, and then when CDs started coming out, I bought it on CD, and I still have that CD, which was a Japanese import, and of course now I have it on a vinyl LP. Just one of my favorite albums of all time. Wearing the shirt, and every song on this is great. And Four Horsemen is kind of a deep cut for them, but I always like just the feel of it and the sound, and I think it's kind of an autobiographical song for them, but it's just a great song, worth definitely listening to, reading the lyrics. Let me go into a Sunny Day Real Estate song. This is from their 2000 album, The Rising Tide, and the song is Killed by an Angel. Now, Sunny Day Real Estate is very influential, especially earlier in their career, and as they went along, they changed people and things changed, and this is a little bit different sound. This is kind of more of an arena rock sound than what they were known for early on. But this is another band I went through and listened to all their albums, and I picked out a few songs, and a few of them ended up on this mix. And then we go to Los Angeles in 1985 for the Circle Jerks, and this is the song Wonderful from their Wonderful album. And this was another album that I liked in my teens and have always kind of enjoyed. It was the first album of theirs that I heard, and it's a little bit different than their first couple albums. It's a little bit more rock sounding instead of hardcore, but Circle Jerks are great sense of humor. It's a fun song, so it seems to be positive. You know, it's got a positive feel to it. Next one is by A Simple Plan, and it's from their 2011 album Get Your Heart On, and this is Can't Keep My Hands Off of You, featuring Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. So another fun song. Simple Plan, I went through and listened to all their stuff, and I'm still actually getting through it, but this one kind of jumped out at me, and I wanted to include it for the month. Next will be the Smiths, What Difference Does It Make, from their first album in 1984. Smiths are the Smiths. They're great, and this is a good song, so, you know, hopefully you enjoy it. We have another Sunny Day Real Estate song. This is from their first album in 1994. The song's 47. And it's another good one. I picked it, and it had a good feel to it, and it blended. Next is Red Cross, Linda Blair. And this is the 1984 version from their Teen Babes from Monsanto album. This is a re-recording of the song from their first album, Born Innocent, that came out in 1982. And Red Cross is they're one of my favorite bands. And they don't have a lot of output, but just the pop, rock, 70s feel. I've always liked it. I first heard their Neurotica album and absolutely just fell in love with it and played that one to death. And then the Third Eye album I liked just as much. The other albums are good. It's definitely Red Cross, but those early ones are my favorite. So Linda Blair 84, it's a nice mixture. It's a re-recording of the song. More rock sounding and more professional than what they did when they were 12 years old. Then we have In This Moment, song The Purge. In This Moment, or from North Hollywood, and this song came off of their God Mode album that will be coming out in October 2023. And this is another one that I heard on Sirius Octane. And the last song on this playlist is another one by Smash Mouth from Fushu Mang, and it's Walking on the Sun. This song was always interesting to me because it sounds so happy and fun, but there's really some good thinking and deep lyrics behind it. And they're talking about something that, you know, people don't normally think about or, you know, address in a pop song. So it was fun, and it's a good song, and, you know, rest in peace, Steve Harwell. As I said, this is my September one. I have been doing them now, mixtape, since May, and I'll just go through and read off the songs that are on each mixtape for each month, just so you can have an idea of what's on them. There's not going to be any information or commentary or anything. It's just listing of the songs. So starting with the May one, we have A Place to Bury Strangers, and the song is Take It All. And then An Alien Sex Fiend, Now I'm Feeling Zombified. Scalp, Opening Night. The Ting Tings, Shut Up and Let Me Go. Bjorn Skiffs, I Just Want to Celebrate. Big Drill Car, cover of Billy Joel's Big Shot. Parov Stellar, The Paris Swing Box. The Speakeasy 3, When I Get Low, I Get High. In Excess, Don't Change. The Toasters, Don't Let the Bastards Grind You Down. Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. Pseudo Echo, Funky Town. Sweet, Ballroom Blitz. Boy Harsher, Pain. Norma Tanega, You're Dead. Dua Lipa, Levitating. Joy Division, Interzone. Joe Strummer's Love Kills. The Murder Capital, Feeling Fades. Adam and the Ants, Table Talk. For June, Greeley Estate song, Remember. Kiss, I Was Made for Lovin' You. Klaus Nomi, Falling in Love Again. Acetone, Every Kiss New. My Bloody Valentine, When You Sleep. She Wants Revenge, song Tear You Apart. Boston Manor, Funeral Party. The Creatures, Exterminating Angel, the Dr. Psyche's New School mix. Crew Lies, Maid, Dolly's Car, His Box, Red Lorry, Spinning Around, The Cure's Hanging Garden, Foo Fighters song Everlong, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Green Day, American Idiot, Love and Rockets, Mirror People, Peter and the Test Tube Babies, Band from the Pub, Bad Religion, Modern Day Catastrophists, Abrasive Wheels, Burn 'Em Down, Bucko 9, My Town, and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, All Saints Day, Brad Paisley with Volodymyr Zelensky, Same Here, Duster, Memphis Sophisticate, The Bolshoi, Away, and Rites of Spring by Design. July was Bananarama's Cruel Summer, Wet Leg, Chaise Long, Luscious Jackson, Here, The Squirmal Mix, Twin Tribes, Shadows, Bauhaus, Hollow Hills, Misfits, Die, Die, My Darling, She Passed Away, Assimilation, Sonic Youth, Incinerate, Nothing But Thieves, Overcome, I See Stars, song Anomaly, DOA, America the Beautiful, The Yardbirds, Avron Knows, Avatar, The Dirt I'm Buried In, TSOL, Weathered Statues, The Vandals, Pirate's Life, Brand New, You Won't Know, Matthew Wilder, Break My Stride, Drab Majesty, Ellipsis, D. Krups, Vision 2020 Vision, A Cloud of Ravens, Requiem for the Sun, Peter Gabriel, Games Without Frontiers, Brand New song Archers, The Special AKA, Racist Friend, and Elastica's Connection. Then August was No Doubt, Total Hate 95, Corner Shop, Brimful of Asha, The Electric Prunes, I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night, The Butthole Surfers, Who Was in My Room Last Night, Red House Painters, Lord Kill the Pain, Descartes a Cant, After Destruction, Nightclub, Cruel Devotion, Run DMC, It's Tricky, Ram Jam, Black Betty, Blondie's Ex-Offender, Bedhead, Living Well, it's the 7-inch version, Dr. No, Deprogram, Lord of the Lost, Save Our Souls, Florence and the Machine, Dog Days Are Over, The Sneepers, Guardians Inferno, Lebanon, Hanover, The Well, Indian Summer, Touch the Wing of an Angel, Dance Hall Crashers Go, Old School Union, Raha Sata'a Ta'i Volta, Rushing Spring, A Girl Like You, Silver, Wham Bam Shangalang, Lebanon, Hanover, True Romantics, The Middle Class, Home Is Where, Material Issue, Valerie Loves Me, Electric Sex, Danger, High Voltage, The Soul Child Radio Mix, and the English Beat Ranking Full Stop. So I will provide a link to the Spotify playlists in the comments. So please check them out. Let me know what you like, if there's anything that you think is really interesting. And I'm going to try and do these updates for each month, as explaining the tracks a little bit from now on. So hope you like it, and thanks a lot for watching.